Investment priorities in Africa. That is the topic we are going to look at today. When you move around Africa, sometimes you ask yourself whether these countries or these leaders have a proper strategic investment plan that is focusing on improving the lives and well-being of the people they lead. These investments, you can talk of airline investments, transport sector, especially the railway, the water and air, the health sector, the electricity supply and distribution, and many others. For example, when you look at investment like airline, in other countries, you can make search and you tell me where you find the airline is 100% government investment anywhere in the world. This is where we go wrong in making our investment priorities. This is an investment that does not give direct profit. So that means it needs expertise. So, do government have expertise, managerial expertise? The answer is zero. We don't. These young people in those institutions, they can't run an airline, whether you want it or not. I'm giving you an example of Uganda Airlines. That's where I'm going to concentrate on. Uganda Airline collapsed for some time. But it is surprising now that it has been rehabilitated, purely owned by government, without analyzing the previous mistakes. And I am giving you just only 5 years from now, you will hear from Uganda Airlines. It can't survive. Why? Because of lack of expertise, because of corruption. Airlines cannot survive on these rotten systems of corruption. You can't. The little profit they make cannot survive, cannot make it survive. Just give it 5 years, you will tell me. Instead of initiating proper program like PPP, Public-Private Partnership Program, where even the China as a country which funds such a project, which gives you loan, you ask them how they run this sector. It is purely Public-Private Partnership Program and other countries. But in Africa, it's different. Technically, that one applies to water, transport, and railway. Uganda Railway collapsed. Why? Did you correct the mistakes? The corruption, the expertise, did you conduct a feasibility study? Do you have the findings? No. So how do you expect it to survive this time? Take an example of, oh my God, take an example of health sector. In other countries, I've never seen health sector composed of private ownership. I've never heard of it. Where the private sector dominates the sector. This is supposed to be pure monopoly by government. But look at our health sector in Uganda. Purely private owned. That's where you can see the. Why? Why do they avoid it? Because it is a monopolistic sector. It touches the lives and of the ordinary person. So the government must take the monopoly. That's the essence. That's why in other countries you can't find it that way. Take an example of electricity. It must be a monopoly, a monopolistic sector by government, because it has a direct impact on the people on a daily basis. But look at ours in Uganda, purely private. And that's why these scandals we see every day. Distribution, we have it, but the cost remain constant. Dams are constructed, but what is the impact? Zero. The bills are constant. And you start regretting in public that, oh, Meme did it. You are the one who did it. A private person does not need that reckless decisions and serious decisions you take. He or she wants profit. He will do it. He has done it. So why are you complaining now? For almost 20 years. Even in other countries, you can see it's the same. All these dams. But you go to Ghana and see how it is managed. Purely government. Because they knew it. They knew it. That it is a sector that affects people. Look at the water sector, transport sector. Look at the roads. Government can run it alone. It has no problem. But you also look at the sustainability of those roads, the standards, the quality, the value for money, the guarantee of a road. In Uganda, these newly constructed roads, I don't think they will last even 6 years. No, even some have started rehabilitating. Even when the guarantee is not yet off, but I suspect the guarantee is no longer in the procuring entity. The contractor must have taken it back. You remember, that's the money in the bank. Because of these bribes and corruption practices. They don't have those guarantees. They don't. You just go and say. So, do we have a strategy for sustainability? No. Borrowing again. That's the same slogan. So until we sit down and draw the strategic plan of these sectors, we are going nowhere. And the more we do mistakes, the more we incur loans, the more we sell our countries to these opportunists. But we should not blame them because they serve their interests. It's not their problem to serve the. If we don't have interest, do we have interest? Do Africans have interest? No, we don't. So why should we keep lamenting? No, they should exploit us because we have taken that path. So let them utilize it. Thank you very much. Good night.